All right, Jason, congratulations once again on becoming the color analyst for the Auburn Radio Network. I know that's something you've been thinking about a little bit, a long tradition of quarterbacks there. I remember listening to Charlie Trotman when I was in high school, and then Pat Sullivan, and of course, Stan White, who's been doing it for the past 22 years, and now Jason Campbell. So congratulations.
No, I appreciate it. I'm thinking that this is like the Heisman Trophy. It just goes to the quarterbacks. Definitely excited about this opportunity. Looking forward to it. Basically, just much appreciation for Stan and everything he's done for 22 years. That's a long time, and also just being a great mentor and helping me over the last couple of years. I've been doing pregame, I've been doing the halftime analyst, but now to be promoted up to the color analyst along with Andy, it definitely means a lot. And, I just feel like from a preparation standpoint, I've kind of learned a lot just being in the booth with those guys. And it makes the transition a lot easier. The fact that I already know everyone that's in that booth with me.
Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Stan. Obviously, he's been doing it for a while. What have you learned from him? What kind of things would you like to do the same? And are there some things that you'd like to do differently?
Yeah, me and Stan developed a really good friendship through this. I've had opportunity, like I said, to get to know his boys, who he can't wait to get close to this fall and, coach them up and make memories with them as well. At the same time, I've seen Stan call games in his own way. I've seen him break some boards. I've seen him, break in half some of his call sheets, So I've seen some animation side of Stan, but he does it in such a fun way and in a Stan way. And, I have to do it in Jason Campbell's way. I will say this, though. I have to pick his brain a lot about just things to look forward to, how you handle certain situations and to understand more about what the role consists of. And then from that standpoint, you put your own spin on it. You be who you are. It's hard to try to implement other people. You just can't. Everyone is special in their own way. And I just have to do it the way that I know how to do it and just enjoy it, have fun and everything.
Mm-hmm. I know you're looking forward to A-Day, to actually getting in the booth and getting that underway and stop thinking about it ahead of time. But I know you had some quarterbacks that you looked up to growing up. What about broadcasters? Did you ever think about that, or is anybody that you like?
I tell you what, broadcast for me, I remember going to college, I got into communications. That was my first major, and then I kind of switched it over to public administration halfway through, and I got a chance to intern with Mayor Ham at the time, who was in Auburn as the mayor. And I got a chance to go out to Coach Pat Dye's forum a lot that year, my senior year, because I had already graduated. And, I got a chance to pick their brains about football, about how things operate within the city, just from the standpoint of how things come in and out of the city, how things get voted on. So I got a chance to learn a lot of different things and everything during that time. And for me, once I got into the NFL, there's always a camera in front of your face when you're the NFL quarterback. And being in Washington, D.C., you're in the nation's capital. I got a chance to be on a lot of TV shows. And then you go out to California, I had a chance to be on multiple TV shows. And then once I retired from football, I instantly got involved with NBC Washington up in D.C. covering that team. And then I got tied this past year. I was going to New York every other week doing a CBS for Monday NFL Quarterback. And so, I've had a lot of experiences. I've had job offers to do TV in the NFL covering games. But to me, Auburn just feels like home. It's another home for my wife and I, who graduated from Auburn as well. And just for us, I want to enjoy what I do and love to do it and be able to do it, but want to do it in a place that you enjoy going to. And for me, it would just continue to be a part of this Auburn program, continue to help be a resource for some of these younger guys. And for me, it just made a lot more sense to just continue it. And instead of trying to go do all that traveling, covering TV games, this just means more to do it for Auburn.
Mm-hmm. I know you've listened to Auburn highlights over and over again during when you were at Auburn and since then, but will you go back and listen to old guys and see what they did, see what they sounded like?
Oh yeah, I most definitely will. Once I finish renovations and actually, get settled in, but I'm gonna definitely go back and listen to some of the guys and how they called. Everyone remember the great calls that Rob Bramley had. He had two historic calls in 1 year. The Georgia game and the Alabama game, and then you think about the Stan game when I was playing against LSU in '04, and we hit the big play on the sideline to Courtney Taylor, and then we hit the touchdown to Courtney Taylor in the back of the end zone, and the place just erupted, and you can hear the call between Rod and Stan and everything at that time. And you can go back to just it's just a lot of memories that you understand. If you have a great call, that call can last a long time. It can be a long lasting effect in the Auburn community.
Yeah, one of the calls I remember is actually, I guess Stan was hurt back in the Alabama game, and Patrick Nix threw the floater to Frank Sanders down there for the touchdown. I thought that was one of Jim Fife's best calls ever.
Yeah, most definitely. Everyone has that niche. Everyone has that one call, that makes a surreal play. And that's the ones that you kind of build on. But I also think that comes with time too. I think that comes with just getting experience, kind of catching your rhythm, getting that niche, and then just getting into a comfort zone. And then once you get into a comfort zone of just knowing how you want to call games and how you want to anticipate calls and how you want to react to certain calls, and how you would think the fans want to hear certain calls. A lot of what I'm going to do is try to, extend a lot of knowledge that I know about the game, just from the aspect of breaking down certain things that I'm seeing that if you sit at home on the couch that you may not really pay much attention to. And to just bring that to the fan base and to help people see it from a deeper level, but also bring some excitement to it. Like I said, Stan was very excited at how he did it. I think his favorite word was that was holding all the way. That was holding.
I think that's every coach.
Right. Yeah. He would look back at me in the booth about that was holding. But yeah, I just think every guy has their niche and everyone develops that over time. I'd be remiss to say, oh, I just hop right in there day one. I just have certain major calls. No, that will come with time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know also great broadcasters usually go with great teams. So let's talk about the Auburn Tigers a little bit. We were talking a second ago about the portal and the signing period, but how do you think Auburn has done? Most people are thinking pretty well, and they're pretty happy with the way that Hugh Freeze has gone about his business so far.
Yeah, I think you have to be excited with what you've seen. You think about where we were when he got the job from a recruiting standpoint. I believe we was ranked somewhere in the 50s or lower 60s.
60, yeah.
And now we're in the top 15 from a recruiting class. Transfer portal, some people have us ranked 1, some people have us ranked 2. Neither one of those are bad spots to be in. And when you think about who we got in the transfer portal, we addressed needs. That was the main thing. We needed some offensive linemen. We lost a lot of them to graduation, and you only had 2 that was back on scholarship. So you had to go out and shore up that position, and we ended up signing 3 of the top 5 guys in offensive linemen in the transfer portal, and I almost had a 4th. If you think about from a tight end perspective, we got some guys that are solid in the run game, blocking game, but we needed that big tight end that can go catch the ball and help stretch the field. You get Rivaldo Fairweather from FAU, a big 6'6" guy that can go and catch it and has a long wingspan. You think about outside, we got Nick Martin, the 6'6" receiver from Cincinnati. We have some receivers on this team, but we don't have that big, tall guy that you can throw those one-on-one balls up to in the red zone and guy go up and get it. And now you have that. You think about the defensive side of the ball. Defensive line is where we need it. Kobe Wooten's gone. Derek Hall's gone. What we do, Owen Papo's gone. So what you do in that position, you shore up Lawrence Johnson from Purdue. You shore up Moselle Kite from Maryland. You go get Justin Rogers from Kentucky. And then at the linebacker position, you get DeMario Tolan from LSU and Austin Keys from Ole Miss, guys that already have experience. So you put guys in there that you don't really have to worry about experience. These guys are already experienced, while you can let some of your younger guys gain that experience. And I thought getting Keldrick Faulk was extremely huge, flipping him from Florida State over to Auburn. He's now a 5-star based off what I've seen here lately. And he was a huge get for us at that defensive end position. Elijah McAllister from Vanderbilt, getting him in the transfer portal at the same position as well, gives us some stability there and gives us some experience. So I think we've done a really good job, but I thought his best recruiting was getting DJ James to come back for another year and getting Nehemiah Pritchett to come back for another year, because we do live in a pass happy league. And yes, teams do run the football, but they can get pass happy a lot. But to have your secondary, when you got two outside corners that's coming back as seniors that you can depend on, that helps you do a lot of different blitzes and a lot of different looks up front, because you have experienced corners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think DJ has a lot of upside still left at Auburn before he gets to the NFL. Maybe room for another quarterback. But what do you think? The match between Hugh Freeze's offense and Robbie Ashford, a healthy Robbie Ashford, is that a good mix?
Well, I say this: I think Robbie has to be super excited, just from the standpoint you see what he did with Malik Willis. You got Malik transferred from Auburn to Liberty, and he was able to turn him into a draft pick into the NFL. And now you look at the aspect of what Robbie can do with his legs, as far as getting out of the pocket, extending plays. Those are things that you can't coach. But the things that he needs to get better at is his arm angles, his throwing ability, his being more accurate. Hitting the easy throws when they're there to be hit, not making the simple things look hard. Those are the things that he will focus on with him from the quarterback position. The other aspect of it is you don't have a lot of experience behind him. Holden Garner is a kid that was, pretty much redshirted last year, but an All-American in high school. And, everyone, waves about his arm talent that he has. And I think, he's kind of forgotten piece here that, this kid is probably going to try to push Robbie, and he's probably going to get out there and compete and everything, because there is a new regime. I think everyone's competing for positions. I don't think there's positions that are just set in stone. I think guys going to have to go out there and compete this spring and everything. That typically brings out the better of your whole football team when you're doing that. But I think Robbie has to be chomping at the bit though to understand. I got not just Coach Freeze, but Coach Montgomery, who had RG3 when he was at Baylor, and what he was able to do with him in that offense. So, you have to just be a sponge right now and soak up knowledge if you're him from those two coaches.
Yeah, going to be exciting. What about the job you've been doing, Jason, with the NIL? Are you going to continue to do that for Auburn, or will that go to the side with your new responsibilities?
No, I'm gonna continue to do that. I think NIL is very important. It gives me an opportunity to actually to know these kids on a personal level. So when I'm talking about them up in the booth, I can talk from a personal aspect, because I know their character, I know their demeanors and different things. So you get a chance to just speak high volumes of them because you know a little bit more in depth. I also utilize this opportunity to continue to be a resource and a mentor to these young guys. Like I tell them, like, NIL is not lifetime changing money. It's just great starter money to life. NFL is your generational wealth and different things like that. I say, but you have to know how to save your money. You have to know how to take care of a little bit before you can take care of a lot. And then the other aspect of that is making sure these guys keep their focus where it needs to be. Let's not forget about the academics and what the importance of getting that degree while you're here. Let's not forget about saving your money while you're here. So when you leave college, 97% of the guys that come through that locker room do not go pro, and 3% have that opportunity to go pro. I said, but if you don't, you're still come out of this thing 98% ahead of people that comes through college, because you don't have student loan debt. I said, but at the same time, you have great starter money to life if you have saved your money. So it's a great opportunity for them to understand those things and to understand the importance of relationships, though. That's the thing. Like, people reach out to you a lot because you build relationships with people. And that's what a lot of these guys don't understand, that me and my former teammates, we have relationships with each other. We love one another. We supported one another. And it's shown over and over. It's shown in the Cadillac when he got the interim coaching job. It's shown, here with me here recently getting announced as the color analyst, all the guys that have reached out and everything. So the support has been phenomenal. And that's all because of relationships. And I think these guys with the transfer portal and everything, is guys in and out of the locker room, there's so much going on, and guys can easily start focusing on the money aspect and not understanding, like, guys, we're going to go as far as we stay focused on what's the most important things, not the money. And I think those are things that we have to instill and make sure that it's at the forefront and not let the main things get lost.
Mm-hmm. I meant to ask you about your guys you played with a little bit. Cadillac. We talked to Kendall last week. Ronnie Brown, of course, a member of the Auburn network. To a number of the guys that you played with are involved. Cadillac, when he was the interim head coach in the fall, I didn't really think about it, but to him, it was a big deal being the first African American head coach at Auburn. And I don't think has anybody asked you that yet? You're the first African American,
Yeah,
football analyst at Auburn. What do you think about that?
yeah, it is a big deal. You sit down and you think about it, because what I do and what LAC have done, we're opening doors for those to come behind us. And so we have a big role and a big, responsibility in what we do. And you just think about it from an overall aspect. I was just sitting here today realizing that I'm the third color analyst that Auburn has ever had in 43 years. And you think about it, you're like, wow, that's a tremendous honor to be in that aspect of that number, and to be able to make guys around you look at things differently in life. Like, you don't always have to chase down things. You just work hard and do what you have to do and build yourself up and build, and have integrity about things and build relationships with people. Things that have a way of coming knocking on your door. I always tell guys, you chase down money, it'll leave you faster than you was chasing it. I said, but if you work extremely hard, things will find you more than you could have ever imagined. I was like, God has a way of working things out that way. I said, but I just don't, my main focus was always just do what you love to do and enjoy it, regardless of whatever it is. Just make sure you love what you do and you're getting an opportunity. Not many people can say that. A lot of people have to do things that they don't love to do, just to put food on the table. I was just like, but I'm in a position I can do something that I love to do, and I don't take it for granted. And I get a chance to do it for a place that I love.